Today, we're installing the K&N cold air intake tube. Follow along. Hey, what's up YouTube world? It's Ryan from Riding in Style. And today's short install video, we will be replacing the factory intake manifold, intake hose there with the K&N hose as well. I had already installed just a drop-in filter. I decided not to go with the closed box setup from K&N because this already has an enclosed box. So all I did was purchase this pipe, and the drop-in filter that comes as a kit as well. So I've already put the drop-in filter, and now it's just a matter of replacing this. I found out this is just like a baffle or like a muffler. Like, this actually makes the intake softer. So it's almost like the same theory of a straight pipe. When you replace this and remove this, just having this will actually create more of an aggressive response sound under the hood, from what I hear. So I'm excited to see if there's any truth to that. But the first step we're gonna do is we have to take off the engine cover here. There's the oil catch can for those of you that saw the last video when I installed that. It's a good investment. And then we're also going to disconnect the negative battery terminal. So we've got the battery terminal disconnected, and the only tools you're going to need is really a Phillips and a regular screwdriver. So I have the one with the two fittings, and that should be it. So you disconnect the battery terminal, remove the engine cover. Now we are ready to get started. So first thing we're going to disconnect is this hose here. So we're just going to remove that clip and then pull the hose off like so. That's it. The next step, we're going to take off this bolt there. So we got the bolt removed, and then the next step is to take this sensor off, or this clip I should say. So use a flat head, kind of pry it out, and then this can be removed just like that. Next, we're going to loosen this here and this right there. Loosen that, which will loosen this hose there. And just to reiterate, we are loosening, we're not removing. So you're just going to make it loose. It's got the retainer, the blue retainer clamps there. So yes, we're not taking these out, we're just loosening it up so we can actually remove this hose. So a quick recap so far, we took off this piece here, we unclipped that there, and we loosened the two clamps, the two screws holding this in place. The next thing we do is take off these three clips, 1, 2, and 3, and now this filter housing is able to be, there might be a fourth one. Yep, there's a fourth one right back there. There we go, there's 4. And now the air filter housing, the enclosed box, can be lifted and we can take this hose off. So we loosen these, and now we can take that part off, and then this part off as well. So I skipped a couple steps, I apologize for that. There is this little clip here that needs to be removed from the bottom there. And also this hose just gets pulled out of this here in the back, and then this whole assembly can now be removed. They don't recommend throwing this away. It's probably good to keep it just in case, but it's now removed. And so this is the mess that we've created so far. We have this loose hose there, we have this hose there, And there is the intake from the air filter. And now it's time to install the new assembly. As I mentioned earlier, I had already put in the drop-in filter from K&N that came with the kit. I just haven't installed the hose or the pipe manifold. So that's the next step. You would just install the filter, and we will now get and this should be what is included in the kit. We have these two end fittings as well as the clamps, the little hose there, and there's this piece here, and don't lose this fitting here as well. And now we are going to install this piece into the hose there. So the next step is also to, after we put that fitting in there, and you wouldn't believe that this little knob there breaks off, so I had to go ahead and reinforce it with some liquid cement, and boy, Murphy's Law. But anyway, we put these end clamps on there on both sides, and it's about ready to be placed on the throttle body. Next step is just hooking this part up to the throttle body, lining up the hose clamp there, but not tightening it. Sorry for the wind, guys, it's just one of those days. And we're just going to make it a little snug but not tight. Okay, so got the tube somewhat installed. The only part that concerns me is that the fitting is down here, where I was anticipating it coming out the backside. So we'll see what becomes of that. I haven't tightened the retainer clamps yet, but this is where we're at so far. I just lined it up and then resecured these clips there. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to install this onto the tube here, factory hose there, and then that fitting goes into this hose. So one end will hook up here, and then the other end will actually plug into that factory hose there. I'm going to do that first, then I will adjust this to see how it all fits. So from a side view, this is what I have so far there, and then this fitting there between the two hoses. And now I'm going to adjust this to fit there, and the throttle body there, and then tighten the clips. We'll see how it goes. So what I ended up doing was actually taking this factory hose out all the way, also from the base there, because there will need to be an adjustment. So I'm going to hook this up first and then adjust it here, because the way that it already has like this bend, but the bend kind of works against where this fitting is. So that's why there is an adjustment that has to be made, and it's going to happen. There's no choice. We're going to make this work. So that's why it's called The Journey. That's why you're watching. Alright guys, so the installation is almost complete. I guess I tried to use the factory provided hose, but that just proved to be not the right thing to do. So they did provide a longer hose, and that's probably why, because the fitting for the hose does end up going on the bottom instead of towards the back. So it will require a longer hose, and this will probably need to be bent to go from the tube and fitting there. And then I also installed the factory retainer clamps there. So it's a wait and see. Let's see how it goes. Alright, there it is, guys. Got the adjustment made. It's not easy. It doesn't fit perfectly. As you can see, the fitting comes out the bottom there with the hose. I did use the factory hose that does connect there with the clamps. And this is that, I guess, fuel regulator hose there. Now it's a matter of starting the engine and listening for any type of air leaks or odd noises. Here we go. But before we do that, we must reconnect battery terminal, and then we'll start the car and listen to what the engine sounds like with this here installed, and that'll be it. Engine started. So far no check engine lights, so that's good. Now we'll just listen to what it sounds like under the hood. Last step, engine cover reinstalled. That's the finished product there. What do you guys think? Is it worth it? Only you can answer that. It might be, the answer might be different to each person, but I'm gonna see how it goes and how it withstands the test of time, and we'll see. Maybe I'll do a future update video, we'll see, but I'm not throwing away the stock pieces just in case. Alright guys, there you have it. I'm actually kind of exhausted. It was a long day. This was just a part of it, but I'm glad I got it done. Checked off a couple things that I wanted to do this week. So thank you all for watching. This is Ryan from Riding in Style.